Good morning, everybody. Thanks to the Business Record for hosting this, and thanks to all of you for all that you've been doing over the past 2 months. I think that what we've seen come out of the state of Iowa and the examples of strength and resilience from across the state and the DSM region have been extraordinary. So great job to everybody out there and all the great work that's being done and highlighted today. And again, thanks to our great partners at the Des Moines Business Record. The Greater Des Moines Partnership, like everybody else, with when the COVID-19 pandemic hit, went into major pivots and realignment. We put together very quickly a short-term strategic plan that really focused on what can we do, on 3 things. What can we do to help keep businesses in business? What can we do to help people working? What can we do to help the community safe? And rolled out a whole range of different initiatives, hopefully many of which you've seen. And I'll just mention a few of these really quickly, but a COVID-19 Rapid Response Hub, the DSM Local Challenge in conjunction with Des Moines, and I know Greg will be talking later today, Small Business Relief Fund, the DSM Employment Ready Initiative, those who are looking for jobs now with those who are currently hiring. We created a virtual farmers market. We're doing tons of storytelling through our DSM Strong. We're heavily focused on government relations with that strong connectivity with the governor's office, great to the Lieutenant Governor today, but our congressional delegation and our regional governments as well, and really a whole lineup of other initiatives as well. And then in the last 3 or so weeks, we really shifted focus in terms of recovery mode, and have put together the DSM Forward initiative, and really starting with looking at best practices from the top researchers from across the globe, and looking at best practices from McKinsey and BCG and Brookings Institution, and what was happening across other states and other regions, and really wanting to put together a strategy that was smart, safe, and collaborative, and also made the determination to bring on Baton Global, a global consulting firm based here in Des Moines, to really help us with that, and then put together the DSM Forward Task Force, which was made up of the Greater Des Moines Partnership Board and Capital Crossroads Regional Vision Plan leadership. And we really wanted to make sure that we were in alignment with our healthcare system, to making sure that these decisions were made in terms of community safety, but then also alignment with the governor's office and our local governments, very closely related, working closely with Polk County Emergency Management and working to help build out their plan specifically on economic recovery. And since that time, we quickly have put together a number of playbooks. Hopefully you've seen those. Industry by industry and best practices, again, focusing on smart, safe, and collaborative, that the various industries, as the governor and local governments are making these decisions as to which industries are opening and when, that the individual businesses, when they're making their own determinations, these are some playbooks. So that's been a big focus of what we've been doing in the past couple of weeks. And now it's really important that all of us start looking at what that sort of next normal looks like, right? I think that the momentum is starting to move forward quickly in terms of economic recovery. If you look, I think it's important for us, like we always do, is look at those strategic advantages that we have in our region, and what are those new strategic advantages. Moody's Analytics recently had a new study that came out. You may have seen that. There's a story in Yahoo Finance, but DSM was featured as a city that is best positioned to bounce back from the coronavirus pandemic. And so looking at things such as our highly educated workforce, our financial services industry, and other factors. And I think just like if those of us who have some gray hair, who have been through other recessions, know that Greater Des Moines typically has done better than other regions in terms of recessions, and the dips haven't been as deep. And we're confident that we're going to be in a strong position for this recovery moving forward. So it's important that we do assess not only what these short-term strategies have been and make sure they're effective, but to continue to look at what our long-term strategies were before this, what can we do to keep those big projects moving forward, such as water trails and infrastructure projects. And then as we look forward to what the state and federal government's going to continue to do on things like stimulus, what are those infrastructure and workforce and other initiatives we need a best position for. Lieutenant Governor mentioned broadband, which I think is very, very important as part of that equation, and lots of other things as well. And we're seeing other signs in terms of mid-sized markets like ours, in terms of the ability to attract and retain talent. Maybe having a little bit less density is now an advantage, as opposed to something that maybe folks who are living on the coast before weren't thinking about before, and a great opportunity for us to, again, recruit that to our top talent, because now people can work from anywhere, and we think that that's a great advantage for us. But then also things from economic development, such as supply chain, reshoring, innovation, all these sort of things in terms of all these sort of different and new advantages maybe that we didn't even have before. So I think that those are all the things we're looking at, lots of other things as well. And I'll just leave you with a quick quote, and look forward to hearing from the other panelists and answering questions. But this is a quote by Joe Murray, and the quote is, "The comeback is always stronger than the setback." So that's our challenge to all of you right now. We've had a great run over the last decade plus with top rankings and outpacing the Midwest in terms of lots of different factors. And now we just have to reassess this to normal and continue to move forward full